Alright, you masters. This is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today we're going to learn how to can meats and vegetables for so you can store them for longer. But before we do that, if you're interested in the detective stories, I have a 11-part series, detective series, and this is the first one that came out. Bloody Crosses. If you're interested in it, the link will be down in the description. So, canning. Canning is a way to preserve foods like meat and vegetables longer. So yeah, without actually the need of a fridge, you will need something as a room like where the temperature is a little bit lower. It's in the dark, like a garage or a cellar, and that way you can storage food items longer that you have created in your own garden. Like let's say that you have leftovers, potatoes, vegetables, or meat, the too much meat from if you have slaughtered an animal or from hunting some game, then you can try to preserve it for a year to even more years with the following techniques. The following the canning techniques that I use is just something very basic, simple. There are far more specialized ways to do this, or some other recipes to preserve it even longer. But want to do I want to try everything first as simple as possible with the less meat items that I would buy especially for this. So I mostly use things that I already own to make it as simple as possible. If you want to be more specialized in this, so it can be kept longer, I would advise to search the different kind of sources on, because there are so many recipes and ways to do this. But I will try to go for the less cost and effective, and with the improvised ways that I have to do this. So let's see how we're going to do this. So today we're going to can two things: some extra paprikas that I bought, and some I how do you say this, pickled meat, pork meat that I already had. So what do you need? You just need some weckpots. You can use one of these, but today I'm going to do it with this with a metal lip on it. And you just also need a pressure cooker. So those are the things that you just going to need. The first thing that you need to do is, that is especially advised with the meat. If you are going to use meat, try to sterilize it first by cooking it for at least 15 minutes, or by putting it into a pickle to pickle it first, like I did. So you know that by osmosis and the salt, that most of the bacteria are already dead in it. So we want to prevent that bacteria will get into your working pots. And next thing you must do is, if you're going to use these pots, clean them and sterilize them as good as possible. Wash them out with soap, disinfectant, or you can also clean them out and let them sit in the sun for like 6 hours, so the UV rays kill the most of the bacteria that are inside of this. Do not touch the inside of the pots while you're doing this, because yet again we don't want any bacteria to get inside of this. So what I already did is I cut the paprika into little pieces, and now we're going to put it inside of the pots, and then I will go to the next point. So these are the pots filled with pieces of paprika, and in contrary to the meat that I pickled, I'm going to try this one out with vinegar and a little bit salt. There are other ways to do this. You can also use good olive oil or honey that will be antibacterial. That is a little bit too expensive, but like I said, we are going to do this as simple as possible. So we are going to put two spoons of vinegar on it. We're going to put some salt in it, and then we're going to fill this up with water till the edge and close it off. Yeah, I will show you in a minute. So I put the water till the lid and put the lid on it while it was almost spilling over the edge. So there is no chance that there is some oxygen left for the bacteria to live in. Some people would leave some space between, so everything will not be onto together, but I want to be sure. And yeah, if you cook it good, that should not be a problem, but I prefer this way. So what you do is you fill the, how do you say this, the the pressure pot, you will fill it to 3/4 or till it's on the edge of the pots that you're going to can. So in this thing, I can do 4 cans. You can. It's probably safer to do this with some rack that you can pull them out without touching the water. But that's more for safety concerns if you are going to to boil it. So be sure if you're going to put a can in it that there are no pieces of cracks in the glass, even if it's the tiniest one, because that way that can, by the pressure and the boiling, explode inside of the pan. So that's not good, but it will usually not damage the other one. So be very carefully about putting the cans close to each other. I have no choice, but because it's small pan. And we're going to pressure can the shit out of this. So we'll see in the next clip how it will go. So after the pressure can has done its thing, you have to calculate how many minutes you're going to do this. I took over an hour in the pressure can to be sure that everything inside of the cans, the pots, will be completely dead. And yeah, then it's also by the heat, it's now vacuum normally. So I already loosened up the pressuring pan, and here we have the pots, and they are still on. The thing is, now you do not want to leave the pots into something warm for a day, so dry it up and put it in a dry, dark, cool place where the temperatures do not change that often. So it cannot be a place where it's in the winter freezing and in the summer getting a little bit warm. So put it in a place where the temperature always stays around the same, like in a basement or something. So, and also watch out if you're going to take these out, that you do not clutch it against each other. So we're going to take out the pots and let them dry a little bit off. By the way, I use a glove in case one of them shatters or is a little bit too hot, but I let the pot cool off a little bit. So now we have canned some of these vegetables and meat. So yeah, everything inside should be dead because it has been boiled from the inside, had gone vacuum because of the heat, and it will even be a little bit better because of the things that we put inside of the pot itself, like salt, vinegar, or the pickled water. So yeah, I'm going to put these in the fridge, and yeah, that's how you can your vegetables and meat. So I would say this is the end. Subscribe, I would appreciate it. Leave a comment if you know other ways or more specific or more specialized ways to do this, or your own experiences. So I'm always eager to learn. Leave a like and such. Share this video, and I would say thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Cheers.